problems. Okay. Ayan. Alright. Ayan. So, here. Diba, the last time we discussed about analysis of accounts. Bakit nga ba natin kailangang in-analyze ang isang account, diba? Kasi bakit natin dapat i-analyze yung account? To check the transactions within the business. Ano ba yung behavior ng mga accounts na ito? Kailangan maintindihan natin kung paano sila nagmo-move ang mga specific accounts. Ano yung nagtitrigger sa kanila para lumaki yung balances? Ano yung nagtitrigger sa kanila para lumiit naman yung mga balances per account items? So the last time class, napag-aralan natin yung kung paano mag-move ang isang accounts receivable. So napag-aralan natin ito, di ba? Naaalala pa po ba ito, class?
Yes po.
Yes, di ba? So, ang accounts receivable, ang normal balance niya is debit. Lumalaki ang accounts receivable kapag may sales on credit. Lumalaki siya kapag may recovery. Lumiliit kapag may collections. Lumiliit kapag may write-off. And then, lumiliit kapag may collection of recovery. So, syempre, nilalagay lang natin sa kabilang side yung ending balance kasi that will serve as a squeezing figure para ma-check natin na pantay lahat ng total debits and total credits. Ayan. So, yeah. Total debits and total credits. So, normally dapat ang total debits and total credits equal siya. All right. Ayan. So, that is how we check the movement of an accounts receivable. All right. Now, so let me just give an example. So magbibigay ako ng isang example for us to fully understand how do we check, di ba? How do we check or how do we use the what do you call this? How do we use the T account? Diba? Ayan. Alright. Ayan. So, magbibigay ako ng isang example. Ayan. Nababasa po ba yung ating problem? Nakikita po ba?
Yes po.
Alright. So, example number 1. So, the following data were reported by COVID-19 company during the year 2020. So, ito yung data niya. Accounts receivable January 1, 100,000. Accounts receivable December 31, 150,000. Notes receivable, January 1, 210,000. Notes receivable, December 31, 120,000. Advances from customer, January 1, 40,000. Advances from customers, December 31, 55,000. Sales returns and allowances, 3,000. Sales discounts, 1,000. Sorry, tama ba? Sales discounts, 1,000. Uncollectible accounts written off during the current year, 4,000. Recoveries of accounts previously written off, 0. Sales accrual basis, 5,000 pesos. 500,000 pesos. So anong hinahanap? Determine the gross sales under cash basis of accounting. So hahanapin daw natin yung gross sales under cash basis of accounting. So, pag sinabi natin gross sales under cash basis of accounting, we are looking for ano class? Anong hinahanap natin? Gross sales daw under cash basis of accounting. Gross sales pero cash basis. So, anong hinahanap natin dyan class? Nagigets po ba? Naintindihan po ba yung transaction? Yung problem? Yes, so tama si John Eric. So, ang hinahanap natin dyan ay collection. So, lalagay ko dito ha, collection. So, we are looking here for the gross collection. Gross collections for the current year. So, para mas maintindihan natin, gawa tayo ng T account. So, gagawa tayo ng T account here. So, yan. So, lagay ko dito. Yan. Okay, ayan. So, gawa tayong T account dito. Alright. Ayan. Gawa tayo ng T account. Gandahan natin. Ayan. So, meron tayong T account for accounts receivable. Meron din tayong T account for notes receivable. I think, no, binigyan din tayo ng notes receivable. Tapos meron din tayong dapat T account for advances from customers. Ayan. So, nakikita po ba yung ating Excel? Nakikita po ba yung Excel natin, class?
Opo.
Alright. Okay. So, lagay ko lang dito, accounts receivable. Ayan. Accounts receivable. Ayan. Here is notes receivable. Ayan. Lagyan natin dyan. Notes receivable. Ayan. Notes receivable. Ayan ba yan? Sorry. Ayan. Notes receivable. And then last is advances from customers. So, advances from customers. Yeah, from customers. All right. So, unahin muna natin yung accounts receivable. Ano ba yung normal balance ng accounts receivable, class? Ano yung normal
Debit.
balance ng accounts receivable? Debit or credit?
Debit po.
Debit. So, that's correct, no? So, bakit mahina yung ating boses? Ayan, so beginning balance. So lagay natin yung beginning balance dito. Dahil ang beginning balance ay debit, lagay natin yung ending balance sa credit. So for the purpose of balancing the transaction. Nakukuha po ba, class? Nakukuha po ba?
Yes.
Yes po.
Alright. So paano lumalaki ang accounts receivable? Paano lumalaki ang accounts receivable? Class.
Kapag may
credit
sale.
sales.
Kapag may credit sales. Nakukuha. So, tama po yan. So, ilagay natin dito. Okay. Paano ba ito? Ayan. Ayan lang natin. Bakit ganyan? Ayan. Ano nangyari dyan? Ayan. So, ayusin lang natin. Ayan. So, lumalaki ang accounts receivable kapag may credit sales. No? May credit sales. So, lagyan natin dyan kapag may credit sales. Kailan naman siya lumiliit? Kapag may
Collection po.
collection. So, tama po yan. Collections. Ano pa? Kapag
Write-off.
may write-off. Diba? May write-off. Meron, ano pang meron? Kapag meron pa,
Collection of recoveries.
collection of recoveries. So, tama na po yan. So, lagyan natin dito collection including recoveries. Ayan. Including recoveries. Sige, lagyan natin separately. Collection, recovery. Para mas emphasize. Ayan. Okay. Tapos ano pa? Paano kaya lumiliit pa ang receivable? Kapag, yes, kapag may sales returns. Diba? So, sales, returns, ano pa? Paano pa lumiliit ang receivables? Kapag merong sales discount. Ayan. So, sales discounts. Paano naman lumalaki ang receivable ulit? Kapag merong
Recoveries.
Ayun. So, kayang-kaya na, di ba? So, madali lang. Because of the behavior of these accounts, mas madali natin ma-identify or mapag-aaralan yung mga problem. So, mas madali na sa atin sagutan yung mga problem. So, yan. Kaya na natin yan. Notes receivable. Ang notes receivable, anong normal balance niya? Debit or credit?
Debit po.
Debit. So, lagyan natin yung beginning balance dito. Dahil debit balance ang notes receivable, lagay na lang natin ang ending balance sa credit para mag-balance siya. Paano lumalaki ang notes receivable? Paano lumalaki ang notes receivable, class?
Pag may issuance po ng promissory note kapalit po ng accounts receivable.
Yes, that's correct, no? So, issuance of promissory note. Issuance of promissory note in exchange of accounts receivable. Paano naman siya lumiliit? Paano naman lumiliit ang kapag merong
Collection po din po.
collection? That's correct, no? So, merong collection. So, pwede ba ang notes receivable lumaki kapag merong sales? Pwede ba ang halimbawa, may bibili sa kanila, sa kay client, ang ibibigay notes receivable agad? Promissory note.
Yes po.
Pwede. So, lumalabas, pwedeng lumaki ang notes receivable kapag may credit sales. Pwede ding lumaki ang notes receivable kapag may issuance ng promissory note in exchange of accounts receivable. So, ibig sabihin, ang accounts receivable, lumiliit din pala kapag merong issuance of promissory note. Diba? Nakukuha po ba? Tama po ba? So, ayan. So, mas na pag-aaralan natin na maigi yung mga transactions. So, ayan. So, lagyan natin dyan. Ayan. Itong issuance of promissory note pala na to sa accounts receivable, yung ikinaliit niya, ikinalaki naman ng notes receivable. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba, class?
Opo.
Alright. So, paano pa lumiliit ang notes receivable? Ano lumiliit ang notes receivable? Kapag na-dishonored ang promissory note or notes receivable. Diba? So, lumalabas, lalaki rin yung accounts receivable kapag may dishonored promissory note or notes receivable pala. So, yun. Okay. So, mas naintindihan na natin. Advances from customer. Ano yung normal balance ng advances from customer? Debit or credit?
Credit.
Credit. So, tama po yun. So, lumalabas, ang beginning balance natin nandito. Yan. So, ilalagay natin sa debit naman yung kanyang ending balance. Paano lumalaki ang advances from customer? Paano lumalaki ang advances from customer, class?
Advance collection po.
Yes, no? So, nanggaling na sa inyo. Kapag merong collection, lumalabas, lumalaki ang advances from customer. Kailan naman siya lumiliit? Kapag merong
Sales.
yes, that's correct, no? Kapag merong sales. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, class, kung mapapansin ninyo dito sa mga accounts na to, ang collection laging nasa credit side. So, lumalabas, when every time there is a collection, kinikredit natin yung mga account na to. We credit accounts receivable when every time there is a collection. We credit notes receivable when every time there is a collection. We credit advances from customer when every time there is a collection. So, same sila ng behavior. Tama po ba? Tama po ba, class?
Yes po.
Yes, no? So, ibig sabihin, through this, napag-aaralan natin yung behavior ng mga accounts. Ganun din, kapag may sales pala, dinidebit natin yung mga account na to. So, we debit accounts receivable when every time there is a credit sales. We debit notes receivable when every time there is a credit sales. And then we debit we debit advances from customers when every time there is a sale. Diba? Yung earned sale. Alright. So, pare-pareho pala sila ng behavior. We credit when every time there is a collection. We debit when every time there is a sales. So ngayon, alam na natin kung ano yung behavior na itong tatlo na to. It's now time to plot. So we have to plot now the amounts na nandito. Accounts receivable January 1. Saan nilalagay? Beginning or ending? Hello class, can you hear me?
Beginning.
Beginning. Ayan. Alright. So, beginning. Accounts receivable December 31, 150. Lagay natin sa ending. Okay. Notes receivable January 1. So, lagay natin. Beginning, 210,000. Ending balance, 120,000. Advances from customers January 1, 40,000. So, lagay natin. And then, ending balance ng advances, 55,000. Merong sales returns and allowances. So sales returns magkano? 3,000. Sales discount magkano? 1,000. Accounts receivable written off during the year. So may ni-write off tayo. Lagay natin 4,000. Sales accrual basis 500,000. Kaya ba nating hatiin yung 500,000 doon sa sales na nanggaling sa accounts receivable, sa notes receivable, saka sa advances from customer? Kaya ba natin? Kaya nyo bang hatiin, class? Kaya nyo bang ma-identify kung galing yan sa accounts receivable, notes receivable, or advances?
Hindi po.
Hindi po.
So, ang gawin natin, pag-isahin na lang natin. Ayan. Alright. So, pag-isahin natin siya. So, lahat ng sales na yan, whether it's notes receivable or advances from customer or accounts receivable, considered as isa na lang sila. Alright. Meron pa po ba tayong hindi na isama? Meron pa po bang hindi na isama, class? Meron pa po bang hindi na isama? Paki-check ng data kung may hindi pa na isama. Kompleto na po ba lahat? Hello, class? Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Opo.
Alright,
Kompleto
kompleto
na
na po
po.
ba? Alright, so magkano ang collection, gross collection? Kaya na bang i-squeeze? Kaya na po bang i-squeeze?
442.
So magkano po? Sige nga, paki-total. Paki-total, class.
442.
42,000. Ay, joke.
Paki-total.
442,000.
440.
So how do you squeeze? How do you squeeze, class?
I-total muna po yung debit account. Nasa debits po.
Total the debits, total the credits. Remember, class, yung sales niya, yung 500,000 na ito, allocated to sa notes receivable saka sa advances from customers. Pero since hindi natin kayang i-identify, gumawa tayo ng super giant T account. So magkasama na lahat ng receivable. Ayan. So ayan, lagay natin. So kaya na ba to? Sorry, hindi kaya. So, ang gawin natin, total na lang natin. Ayan, total natin yung beginning balances, yung debits pala, debit balances, debit. Ayan. Okay, plus this one, plus this one. Ayan, okay. So, 865,000 pesos. So, lumalabas dapat 865,000 pesos din yun nandito, di ba? Tama po ba? Tama po ba, class? Dapat at 865,000 din yun nandyan.
Yes po.
Agree? Okay, so kung 865,000 dapat yung balance na nandyan, magkano yung collection? Magkano yung collection?
547,000.
Yes, no? From 865 minus the ending balance ng accounts receivable, minus the write-off, minus the sales returns, minus the sales discount, minus the ending balance ng notes receivable, minus the beginning balance ng advances from customer. So magkano yung nakuha niyong gross collections? Magkano yung nakuha niyong gross collection, class?
547.
547,000 pesos. So the answer here, determine the gross sales under cash basis of accounting. Answer is 547,000 pesos. So yan po ang inyong sagot. Iintindihan po ba? Nagigets po ba, class?
Yes po.
Alright. So kayang-kaya na po ba sagutan yung iba? Kaya-kaya na ba sagutan? Ayan. So example natin yan, example. Alright. Okay. So let's try to answer an exercise problem. So let me just stop sharing. Yeah, let me just stop sharing. Then let me share my screen again. Ayan. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Ayan. So Here, exercise number 1. Exercise number 1 or exercise, mamili tayo ng iba, yung mas maganda. Number 1, number 2, exercise number 3 na lang. No, not that. Exercise 7. Exercise 7, yung mas madami. Ayan, exercise 7. Nakikita po ba yung ating screen? Nakikita
Yes
po ba
po,
yung ating
sir.
Alright, okay. So, inventory estimation. The work in progress or work in process inventory of boys and paints was completely destroyed by fire on April 1, 2021. You were able to establish the physical inventory figures as follows. Noong January 1, 2021, may raw materials daw magkano? 30,000 pesos. Noong April 1, 60,000 pesos. Work in process, 100,000. Zero as of April 1. Finished goods, 140,000. April 1, 120,000. Sales from January 1 to March 31 were 300,000 pesos. Purchases of raw materials were 100,000 pesos and freight of purchases 10,000 pesos. Direct labor during the period was 80,000 pesos. It was agreed with the insurance adjuster that an average gross profit rate of 32.5% be used and that manufacturing overhead was 45% of direct labor cost. So anong hinahanap? Apat ang hinahanap. Una, value ng goods manufactured and completed, raw materials used, tapos total value of goods put in process, saka work in process, inventory. Ayan. Alright. So, kaya-kaya po ba? Now, let's try to prepare a P account for inventory. So, that's exercise 7. Tama po ba? Exercise 7. Ayan. Exercise 7. Nakakasunod po ba, class? Nakakasunod ba?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Alright. Okay, so wait lang class ha. Ayan. Okay, ayan. So ayusin ko lang. Ayan. Alright. Okay. Just preparing for okay. Okay. Ano ba to? Ayan. So, stop sharing ko muna. Then, share my entire screen. Entire screen. Ayan. Entire screen. Ayan. Can you see my screen now, class? Can you see
Yes,
my
sir.
screen? Alright. Okay. So, nabasa na natin yung problem. Inventory estimation. So, ang hinahanap, inventory balances. So, syempre, dahil may inventory balances, kailangan natin yung T account for inventory. Ayan. So, T account for inventory. So, we have here. Ayan. Raw materials inventory, work in process inventory, saka finished goods inventory. Dito muna tayo sa raw materials inventory. Ano yung normal balance ng raw materials inventory? Debit or credit?
Debit.
Debit. So, lagay natin yung beginning balance dito sa raw materials inventory debit side. And then, lagay natin ang ending balance sa credit side. Paano lumalaki ang raw materials inventory?
May purchases.
Purchases.
Yung raw materials purchases. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba? Yung raw materials purchases na yan is net. Diba? Kaya pwede nating i-present yung gross or pwedeng yung net na lang. And then, paano lumiliit ang raw materials inventory? Kapag merong
Raw materials used.
raw materials used. Ayan. So tama po. Pag merong raw materials used, lumiliit ang raw materials inventory. Ang work in process inventory, ano yung normal balance niya? Debit or credit?
Debit.
Debit. So beginning balance is debit. So lagay natin ang ending balance sa credit side para mabalance. Kailan lumalaki ang work in process inventory?
May manufacturing cost po.
materials.
Kapag may total manufacturing cost, di ba? Kapag may manufacturing cost. So, ano yung breakdown ng manufacturing cost? Meron tayong raw materials used, meron tayong direct labor, saka meron tayong factory overhead. Tama po ba?
Yes po.
Yes. Paano lumiliit ang work in process inventory?
Kapag may manufactured na.
Pag meron ng manufactured goods. Ayan, manufactured goods. So, lagay natin dito, cost of goods manufactured. Alright. So, ang finished goods naman, ano yung normal balance niya?
Debit.
Debit. Tama po ba? Debit. So, beginning balance, lagay natin sa debit. Ang ending balance, lagay rin natin naman sa credit. Kailan lumalaki ang finished goods? Kapag merong cost of goods manufactured. Kailan siya lumiliit? Kapag merong cost of goods sold. Kapag naibenta na. Tama po?
Yes po.
Alright. So, now let's plot the documents. Yan. So, let's plot the documents. Raw materials beginning, magkano? 30,000. Raw materials ending, magkano? 60,000 as of April 1 pala. April 1, 2021. Tama po ba? Tama po ba, class?
Yes po.
Alright. Work in process, beginning, 100,000. Ending balance, 0. 0 siya. So, ibig sabihin, baka hahanapin pa natin yung ending balance noong work in process. Ano pa? Finished goods, magkano? Magkano ang finished goods, class?
140.
140,000. Ending balance ng finished goods,
120.
120,000 pesos. Alright. Merong binigay. Sales from January 1 to March 31 were 300,000 pesos. So, yung sales daw is 300,000 pesos. Itabi natin yung sales. Ayan. So, sales is 300,000 pesos. Yan. So, 300,000 pesos siya. Ano pa? Purchases of raw materials were 100,000 pesos. So, purchases of raw materials were 100,000 pesos. 100,000 pesos. Tapos ano pa? May freight pa. Freight. So, lagay natin. So, lumalabas, hindi pala to net. So, gross yan. Tapos, plus freight. Magkano yung freight? 10,000 pesos. Ano pa? Direct labor was 80,000 pesos. So, 80,000 pesos pala yung direct labor. Ano pa? It was agreed with the insurance adjuster that an average gross profit rate of 32.5%. So, tabi lang rin natin yon, gross profit rate. So, GP rate, magkano yung GP rate natin, class? 32.5%. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba?
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Manufacturing overhead daw was 45% of the direct labor cost. So, 45% of direct labor cost. 45%. Alright. So, kaya-kaya na po ba? Kaya-kaya na po ba sagutin, class? Kaya-kaya na po ba sagutin? So, balikan natin dito. Dito tayo ulit focus na tayo dito sa ating Excel. Kasi nagawa na natin siya. Nalagay na natin lahat ng data. Kayang-kaya na po ba sagutan? Kayang-kaya na po ba sagutan, class?
Yes po.
Alright. So, magkano ang raw materials used? Magkano ang raw materials used natin?
80K.
80,000. So, how do we know? Total debits, di ba? Total debits less the the balance in the credit, you get the squeeze amount, 80,000 pesos. May 80,000 po ba doon sa ating may 80,000 po ba sa
Meron
ating
po.
Meron po? Yes. So number 2, that's our answer for number 2 is letter C. Tama po, di ba? So our answer for number 2 is letter C. 80,000 pesos. Nakukuha po ba? Nakakasunod po ba, class? Diba number 2 yon? Okay.
Opo.
How much is the anong hinahanap for number 1? Value of goods manufactured and completed. So, hinahanap daw yung value ng manufactured goods manufactured and completed. So, ito yung hinahanap. Ayan. Tama po ba? Cost of goods manufactured and completed. Itong raw materials used na identify na natin. So, paano natin ma-identify ang cost of goods manufactured and completed kung walang binigay na raw materials used? Nakuha na ba natin yung raw materials used? Yes.
Yes po.
80,000. Kaya na natin ilagay. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Alright. And then, anong sabi? 45% daw ng direct labor ay factory overhead. Kaya ba natin computein yung 45% ng direct labor?
Opo.
Yes po.
36,000. Ay, tama ba? Bakit naging... Yan, 0.45. 36,000. Nagigets po ba? Nagigets po ba, class?
Opo.
Yes po.
Alright. Okay. Now, kaya na bang computein yung cost of goods manufactured?
Hindi pa po.
Hindi pa. Kasi wala pang ending balance. Di ba dito? Hindi pa natin makuha yung ending balance. So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin, mag-start tayo dito sa finished goods. Paano tayo mag-start sa finished goods? May cost of goods manufactured na ba?
Wala pa po.
Wala pa. Kaya bang computein yung cost of sales?
Yes po.
Yes. So, mako-compute natin siya by using the gross profit rate. Kung ang gross profit rate mo ay 32.5%, magkano ang iyong cost ratio?
67.
67.5.
67.5%. So, 300,000 pesos na sales multiplied by 67.5%, you get, magkano po?
202,000.
202,500. So, kaya na bang i-squeeze yung cost of goods manufactured?
Yes po.
Magkano po ang cost of goods manufactured?
182,500 po.
182,500. So, our answer for number 1 is, anong sagot for number 1?
D.
Yes, that's correct.
184,500.
Answer for number 1 is D, dog. Alright, so galing, no? So tama-tama. Okay, so kaya na po bang ilagay dito yung cost of goods manufactured sa work in process? Yes, no? So nakuha na natin, 182,000. Kaya na ba natin makuha yung ending balance ng work in process?
Yes po.
Yes. Alright, so lagay na natin. Magkano po kaya? Total the debits
113,500.
minus the balance in the credit, 113,500. So, kung makikita nyo doon sa ating problem, naka-zero yung ending balance ng work in progress. So, lumalabas, yun yung inventory destroyed by fire. Diba? So, inventory destroyed by fire. So, yan yung na-destroy ng by fire natin. So, what will be our answer for number 4? What will be our answer for number 4?
Letter A.
A
Answer
po.
for number 4 is A. Yan. Alright. So, lagay natin dyan. Ayan. Letter A. And then, may hinahanap pa bang isa? Number 3. Total value of goods put in process. So, paano yung total cost of goods put in process? Anong formula po doon? Ano formula for total cost of goods put in process?
Manufacturing cost plus work in process inventory beginning, sir.
Yes, that's correct, no? So, total cost of goods, yan, put in process, yun yung work in process beginning plus the total manufacturing cost. Magkano nakuha natin? 296,000 pesos. Pareho po ba tayo ng nakuha, class?
Opo.
Yes, no? So, our answer for number 3 is letter
A.
A po.
A. Ayan. All right. So, letter A. So, for exercise 7, number 1 is dog. Ayan, number 1 is dog. Number 2 is cat. Number 3 is apple. Number 4 is apple. So, kayang-kaya po, no? Kayang-kaya naman po sagutan. Kayang-kaya po ba sagutan, class?
Yes po.
All right. Okay. Okay, so class, please continue answering other problems. So we will try to continue answering these next week for the analysis of account. So probably baka mas marami tayong time for auditing problems muna and then lesser time for auditing theory. All right, class. So thank you so much for joining this class discussion. Have a good weekend and please have your dinner. Class dismissed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.